Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Aches and Gainz.
Hi, Hayes. How are you?
I'm Dr. Hayes Estes. Donnie!
Somebody's speaker just blew up.
What's up, Donnie?
Well,
Hey, Donnie, it's a new year.
here
It's
we
a
go.
new year.
It is a new year. Happy New Year. The ball dropped on the empty area.
And there's probably still garbage in New York City.
There's still garbage there, yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, yeah.
There's still diaper people who wore Depends for no reason.
Depends. Back to depends.
Yeah.
If you guys are following these episodes, you'll see there's trends. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, we'll take you as a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody.
What's going on, Donnie? What you haven't answered my question yet.
What's going on is every time, and I have to explain this every time. Every time we do this, I have no idea what Hayes is about to say at this point. We talk about everything else except for this first 2 minutes. So for some reason, I'm the one that kept left off guard all the time. So I am apprehensive, waiting for this question.
Donnie, I heard that your New Year's resolution for 2021 is that you're going to run a marathon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, yes, you're absolutely right. So
You heard it here first, folks.
found a technicality with it's 2020 and all its glory and everything is done. So now what they have is called virtual races. You ever seen this? Yeah.
Yes,
So
I have.
the people who want
I have a few patients
the
right
people
now
who want to
are
make
doing
money off this are like, we still want to make money, but we can't get together. So we're going to leave it upon you to say based off of your GPS that you ran. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break a record because I got a truck, and I'm going to go along around here on the fastest marathon you've ever seen.
Now,
I'm going to turn that in. You know what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the same medal for the same guy who ran it in like 5 hours and 10 hours. Yeah. So yes.
You have no idea how fast I can run a
I
marathon.
don't. It's like an hour and a half, right? Is that like a fast one?
Oh my God, you haven't run in forever. It's
Since the army made me, absolutely. I used to run a lot.
2 hours is like the magical mark that we're trying to get, and like they've even tried to do things like assisted people and giving like special shoes and like pace them to get them to 2 hours. So 5 hours. 10 hours is you might as well be just crawling on your hands and knees for if you go to 10 hours. Yeah. So like the real question is when you get in your truck and you do this, are you gonna do it so you finish in like 2 hours and 5 minutes, or are you gonna try to finish in 26 miles in 26 minutes?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it like a 25-minute. We're gonna do like a mile a minute, right?
I can't believe you did it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And you know what they're gonna say? You didn't do it. I'm like, prove it. So I'm calling it right here. You're looking at new
So 2021.
world champion marathon runner from right here in America. Oh man, isn't that crazy? Yeah.
2021, Donnie
Watch
Kiernan
it.
is running a marathon. You heard it here first, folks.
We're right here
Congratulations.
running a marathon.
Yeah.
My truck will be running.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I'll be in nice air-conditioned seats. It's fantastic. All right.
air conditioned seats, that does sound nice. Especially
great.
in this state.
Yeah.
Well, so, since it is a new year, like that means anything for people who are in the health and wellness industry, this is the time of year when you hear about New Year's resolutions related to health. And so we wanted to come up with our 2021 tips to get them gains without them aches.
For that. That is the best we could come up with.
We talked about this 2 weeks ago. What are you talking about?
That's the best we could come up with. I actually thought about it.
So
That was the best.
this is our list. We've done some lists recently. This is our list in terms of giving you some ideas, some ways to basically stay out of my clinic, and use him to achieve your goals. So if you end up in my clinic, that's fine. We'll still help you. I'll still send you to this guy and go from there. But let's try to hit them goals without the pain. Sorry, I can't get away from
Get away.
it.
It's
We
tough.
gotta get away from it.
It's tough. I get it. Yeah.
So, so number one, let's go with the educational component. This is one that you really wanted to harp on.
Yes.
So go for it.
I'm gonna spend some time on this one because the name of my business is Strength and Performance Institute, and that's not just a ploy to to show up on some search engine stuff. That's actually the heart of what I do in the business here. Is I'm training people. Yes, they're coming to me. I'm giving them my guidance, and they're getting results in there. But nothing is infinite, especially in this industry. Everything is finite. Everything has a point where they stop. All right. So at this point, I'm trying to teach people to maintain what they're doing now outside of me. So we're going to continue to grow. So what that takes is an education level where I have to teach people what they're doing. I'm not just showing them, running them through motions and saying, do this because I say so. I want to say, this is why I'm having you do this exercise. And this is how it's going to correlate to everyday life, especially for the non-athletes. I want to make sure this is why I want you to do this, because when you want to bend down to pick something up, all of a sudden now you're using mechanical leverages instead of putting stress on your lower back, stretching your hamstrings, getting to the point where you have some tightness here. So the education part is critical. And also, let's think about, like, on your aspect here, education keeps people from doing it. And as much as you love making a living doing what you do, the goal of any clinic when you're dealing with healthcare is to keep people out of that clinic. Mm-hmm. It really is. There's enough people in this world that are going to injure that you don't need to see repeat people. You don't want to see repeat patients. You want to educate them to the point where they are cognitively aware whenever they're in their everyday life or exercising or doing their sport of choice, that, hey, I know how to avoid this situation to mm-hmm. getting here again. And also I want to avoid potential situations that I haven't even met yet. So education is crucial. So please, as I hand this over to Dr. Hayes, I want you to take the time and go out and educate yourself. You have the world is at your fingertips, and I know it can feel like drinking from a fire hose sometimes, but you need to make sure that you're out there educating yourself. And if you're not sure if something you saw is correct or is worded correctly, or even if it's even relevant, you can ask people that are in the industry. Ask myself. You have people that will be willing to help on a small basis. Dive in deep. Ask questions. That's big. Ask questions. Educate yourself. Learn, and then that will allow you to take the gains that you're making now in 2022 will be just a compounding effect instead of coming back and forth, injured, not motivated or not. So yeah, go ahead, take it from there.
Great points. One of the things that I dislike the most in the clinic is when we have a patient who comes back to us for the exact same thing, and that means potentially that either they did something incorrect and they didn't listen to what we said, or maybe we did something incorrect. It's entirely likely that maybe we missed something, but either way, it's a loss. They came back for the same thing. We pride ourselves, in my clinic, in educating our patients, not only on why they are having the pain or the impairments that they're having, but also in giving them the tools. When you are finished with physical therapy with us, we have given you a toolbox. We've put some tools in there so that worst case scenario, you have maybe a little minor flare up. You know how to manage your symptoms on your own and work yourself out of it. Because ultimately, as much as I have a business and I want that business to continue to grow, I don't want to make my living on people coming back and who are dependent upon me and my business.
Correct.
I want you to feel comfortable that you can go out and do the things that you want to do when you are working out and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And that's we do that the way that we have our treatment model is that we're one-on-one, because otherwise in a setting where I have to run around and I'm talking with 3-4 different people at the same time, you're not going to get that education. So we take the time with you to educate you, and that's why we're different. At least that's what I think. Yep. So, and that's why you and I gel so well together, because the way that I treat and the way that you work with your clients very similar, and so it's a good transition from my clinic to your facility, and almost a seamless process, and just keeping the ball rolling. So yeah, I mean, just start there before you even think about getting into the gym. Educate yourself. What do you want to get? What do you want to learn? What do you want to improve upon this year? And go and go. Reach out to the people or find the resources on the internet that are beneficial.
They're there.
Yeah, and and all us, and you can email us. That's our job. I am more than willing to take the time to tell people about what we do, who we are, what they can expect, even if they don't come into the clinic. I would love to do that, because I don't like to see people in pain. I make my living with people who are in pain, but I don't like to see people in pain. So
understood.
So,
yeah, great stuff.
Yeah. All right. Anything more?
No.
Right.
I would say this. I've gone to, before I was associated with you, I've gone to your chain PTs, and they're just not. They're not education focused. They're there to put you through a regiment that they've predetermined. Move on. So yeah, absolutely. The education part of your clinic versus most is one of the deciding differences. So
I appreciate that. Amen. So I want to go, and I think that this is a good little segue, or the next step is being consistent in your efforts, whatever that may be. But specifically when it comes to the training aspect, be consistent. So what we know about the musculoskeletal system is that there are hardly any changes that happen like that. So it takes time to make changes. So you can talk about the nervous system itself. You can talk changes in muscle size, muscle strength. You can talk about changes in connective tissue. All of those, the evidence suggests, for each one of those individually is at least a 4 to 6 week process, and that's kind of ballparkish figures, but these are things that you have to do on a basically daily basis, whatever it may be, whatever your training style is. If you do it just a little bit or a day or two here or there, not going to make the effort, not going to get the change that you want to see. So these things all take time, and so the only way you get there is by being consistent.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I know that you haven't, if you've put on 50 pounds on your deadlift, it wasn't something that happened over the course of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Was it?
No, not. If you've done that, you've done one of two changes, or both. You've added muscle mass, or you've efficiently used the mass that you had before with proper mechanics. Mm-hmm. Those are the ways that you can measure, or modalities to measure of increase of lifts. Simple as that. You don't always have to, like you said, put on muscle to be better at lifting, but it does take consistent training, and not just training, but consistent and accurate training, doing stuff that's going to be efficient. So you're already spending time doing this. Spend it wisely.
Yeah.
Get the maximum amount of results that you can out of your training time, and then stick to the program that whatever you're sticking to. Programs work. Whether some are more efficient than other, but programs work for 95% of the programs out there.
Yeah.
If you stick to them and do them, the problem is when people get bored, or when people think, oh, I see my friend doing this, or my friend, somebody's doing this, they're getting better results. Sure, and then you're going to bounce back and forth, and what you're going to get is you're going to get lackluster results, because programs are meant to be a cumulative process, not just a week to week or day to day. There's a culmination process in these things that are when properly programmed. So exercises are meant to lead up to a certain culmination period of that, and then at that point you maybe test, or you assume that you have increased such much to move on to the next one. But you have to finish that process in order to see the proper results. So yes, back on yours. Consistency, consistent. Stick with it.
Yeah.
Just if you're going to do it correctly.
Much like the T-shirt that I'm wearing, Cigar City Brewing here in Tampa. Love to have you as a sponsor. It takes a little while for that beer to ferment. For sure. For that delicious product to come on out.
Delicious.
Cigar City, Tampa.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
On that note. About the next.
We are shameless. It is just pathetic how shameless we are sometimes.
Yeah, I really just want you to pay for my supplements. That's pretty much it.
Supplements. Yeah, I see where he's going with that one.
So
Don't need a flashlight for that one.
Wait, what?
Yeah, move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. You have educated yourself.
Yep.
You are prepared to be consistent, and you're ready to hit the gym. Don't just run into the gym and just load up 100 pounds, 300 pounds on the squat rack and just start squatting. So one of the main things that I see at the clinic is that people come to me, they get injured, and I say, hey, well, what's your gym routine look like? And they'll start talking about, well, so I squat, like 4x8 at this amount of weight. And I go do leg press, and then I deadlift, and then I do like some single leg deadlifts, some hamstring curls, and then I leave
Every week.
Every week, yeah. And so I go, so what did you do to warm up? And they go, oh, I got on the bike for like 90 seconds. Yeah.
Shook my fist a little bit, do a little wiggle thing that guys do.
Yeah, I kind of did some toe touches. So, talk about the warm up. And so, and yes, we speak with not only experience, not only knowledge, but also experience. Mm-hmm. And so the two of us we're some old farts when it comes to the weightlifting game. But one thing that we do know is that we gotta grease those wheels.
For sure.
And even if you're a young buck, you're a Ferrari, and you got your oil changed, you still gotta kind of rev the engine a little bit. You can't just go and hit that red line.
Unless you
right
want to trade that Ferrari in pretty quick.
Yeah, so warm up is what we're trying to get to. You got to properly warm up. So what does that look like? So if I'm going to squat, well, it basically looks like I'm going to do a bunch of squats. I'm going to air squat. I'm going to squat with a bar. I might add like 50 pounds or maybe 90 pounds, and I'm going to keep squatting, and I'm going to squat some more. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to do a lot more squats until I'm nice and properly warmed up.
So the key term would be dynamic.
Yeah. Yes.
Dynamic warm-ups and not static.
Yeah.
For when you're doing especially compound exercises, dynamic, you want blood flowing while you're stretching. So.
Yes. Yeah. So, we talk on here ad nauseum at this point about the use of load to actually improve mobility. And so doing things like some time under tension type of exercises, some eccentric exercises, and you can use those for not only the training effect, but you can use them as warm-ups as well. That's going to help with injury prevention because it won't be cold getting into your squat or your deadlift or whatever movement it is. Basically, the easiest way to think about this is whatever move you're going to do, whether it's a squat, deadlift, bench press, what have you, you essentially warm up by doing that
Sure. Yeah.
at a significantly less weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
you want to prepare the body for the duress it's about to endure, by doing that, you just don't run in. A fighter just doesn't run straight into the ring and say, let's do this. There's a warm-up process. And the same thing with the weights. Unfortunately, I see with people who are just casual gym goers, they don't understand that. So the same thing, like I said, they'll do a little, I'll move my shoulders around. Mm-hmm. I'll kick my legs up and down like
do
that.
some shoulder circles.
Yeah. So but the reality of it is, unless you're doing a 4 sets of 8 of shoulder circles that day with weight, you're not really properly preparing the body. It's not real rocket science here. Whenever I'm training people here, I have a pretty basic warm-up method that I do for everybody here because it's nothing that we need to specifically do. If we need specific training, that's part of the training, not the warm-up.
Yeah.
So the warm-up needs to be pretty basic and yet movement. So anything you do, you want to be moving. You should feel an elevated heart rate and some blood flowing at the end of your warm-ups. If not, then you haven't had enough going on there. Static stretching is great, but I don't believe it has any part in before training and in pre-training. Post-training, static stretching can be great. And it's actually be a great injury prevention tool to do when you're done training, but definitely not before training.
There's actually evidence out there that if you do static stretching right before you go and do a dynamic movement, that you you actually will have a decreased power output from that because
That makes sense to me.
Because you have your input to the nervous system is now that these muscles are lengthened, and so it's harder to contract the muscle at that point.
Yeah.
So, all right, last tip. Continuously challenge the body. I know this was one that you wanted to talk about, so
Yes, sir.
go for it.
So you talked about it a little bit, and there was routine, and that word routine, I think gets taken quite too literally sometimes, and we go in there and we don't ever consistently change up the exercises that we're doing in the gym. And there's something to be said about doing mesocycles where you're taking 4 to 6 weeks of a certain exercise and continuously progressing in percentages and rep ranges and stuff. But at some point, just like, Louis Simmons is going to talk about with conjugate, you have to rotate out your exercises to keep the body from adapting too much. And the body is a wonderful organism where it will adapt to whatever you throw at, whether it's sitting on the couch or whether it's trying to run a marathon. Your body will adapt in some way, shape, or form based off of what you expect out of it and what you push to the body to do. So changing up your training. When people go in, they say, I go in there, I do 4 sets of 8 on squats, I do leg press, and then I do some hamstring curls, calf raises, and then I go jog on the treadmill for 15 minutes. Well, what do you do after that? Well, that's it. You do that every week. How long have you done that for? About 6 months. So yes, you're seeing results, of course, but there is a curve that your body will start adapting to. And even if you continuously add weight to that particular exercises you're doing, you're still rounding out that curve when you want to continuously go up on your gains, if you will, if we're going to talk about this, on what in your athletic prowess or your strength. So by switching up exercises that maybe even work the same muscle, the muscle groups, just different modalities and the way they do them, different angles at which they're done, different machines, different weights. There seems we can do deadlift and squats are very similar in the movements that the muscles that they require to move. Mm-hmm. So switch out every now and then. Do a trap bar deadlift, then go back to squat. Okay, we're doing different stuff. So it's a bottom position instead of starting from the top. These are things that need to be done to keep the body continuously growing. Because once it gets to a point where it says, I've seen this before, I've done this before, it will stop growing. And so that comes down to the education level again. So make sure that you're continuously moving your programming around. Even if you're doing your own programming, every 6 to 8 weeks, change up your exercises. You're gonna see different growth right there, alone.
Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Sure.
So there you go. Yeah.
So my boy Einstein.
Yeah.
So.
Edward Einstein.
Edward Einstein. Yeah. Herbie Hancock. Yeah. All those guys.
So there you go. Our 2021 tips to get them gains without them aches.
Because aches ain't no fun.
I had to say it one more time.
Yeah. Sorry about that again. We apologize in advance and afterwards.
I'm not sorry. All right. So let's move on to everyone's favorite part of the show. Bro science, meals.
Gone.
Or pet peeves.
Yeah.
We're gonna go pet peeves this time. We haven't done a pet peeve in a while.
Yes.
So Donnie, pet peeve.
So I walk into a gym, any gym, all right, 6 foot, 320, 325, depending on the day, and I'm usually have a shirt similar to this on, my gym bag. And I look around, and what do I see? I don't see the girls looking at me. The girls are doing their own thing. In fact, they're trying their best to stay away from anybody and everybody because they don't want to be hit on and stuff. But what do I see? I see the guys eyeing me up and down like I'm some popsicle that they're just on a hot day trying to get a hold of. And no. It's not that. What they're doing.
I had a similar experience
when
I worked out
in band camp.
When I worked out at an LA Fitness in San Francisco. Is that what you're talking about?
This was not in San Francisco nor Austin. Yes. So no.
Oh, my bad.
Like I was trying to say, and not in that way you're thinking, Ashley. I know how you are. Okay. What I'm saying is they're trying to assess whether I'm stronger than them.
Oh.
And you know what? You know what the sad part is? Most times, probably yes, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't understand this. And this is the pet peeve here. Why are you trying to compete against me when we're both going after the same thing? We're both going after the gains. We're both going after personal progression. We're going, why are we competing? Why aren't we joining forces? Why are you looking at me like I'm a competitor when we should be going at this together? Think about that when you're in there. Come on, guys. And you know what? Sometimes we put on a face when we walk into a gym. Nobody ever really walks in usually smiling and waving and greeting like this. Most times we're in our zone, if we will. All right, so yeah, we got the RBF for the male version of it going on. But that doesn't mean...
Resting boy band face?
Boy band, that's BBF. Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, you're close. You're close.
Okay.
You're close. We'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay. Sorry.
And also, where babies come from and all the other things too. So,
no, my dad's a gynecologist. I already got that.
How early? Never mind. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, so yeah, this is what the biggest. Come on, guys. Let's not do that. Don't eye me. Don't me. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm the best ever.
You're not at a powerlifting meet at every time you go to the gym.
For sure, we're not. And even at a powerlifting meet, most people aren't even doing that. Just guys at the gym. Come on, work together. Spot me, I'll spot you. How about that? What do you think about that?
I think it's good. I think it's great. I think that if you need to motivate yourself and you want to get that extra rep in, all good. You don't need to be eye effing the other dude across the gym, because you think that you can out squat him. So just slow your roll, do your thing, you do you. Everybody, you don't know where everyone is in their journey.
Yep.
Just be glad that they're in the gym, making themselves better.
That's right. That's the big thing, especially coming this new year, guys. The people that are going in there, you're like getting pissed off because they're filling up your gym. That used to be you at some point. Remember that. You were the newbie there. All right, be welcoming. Keep them in there because the more in there. Listen, there is not a finite amount of room. There is 100 gyms within a 30-mile radius in here. There's enough room. You might find a good training partner. You might find people who are doing great. So, be accepting.
There it is.
That's it.
On that note,
I'm good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. Let's where can they find you when they're scrolling through the DMs?
Oh,
sliding into the
find me
DMs.
In the DMs.
What are the kids say?
What is the DMs again?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's direct.
Yeah. Massage?
Yes.
Yeah, I like those direct massages too. Yeah,
daily masochism.
Oh, we got to stop this. Okay. What's this? Facebook.com, Strength and Performance Institute. That's my gym right here in Clearwater, Florida. If you're interested at all in talking to me about programming or training, please message me there. Also, Instagram.com/Donnie Kiernan. That's where the fun stuff happens. There you go. That's my name, Donnie Kiernan. You can spell it out. We'll spell it out afterwards. Make sure you understand it.
I don't know what that means. I'm Dr. Hayes Estes, owner of Premier Physical Therapy. We are Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance on the Facebook.com/the Premier Physical Therapy. We're also on Instagram @Run.
We're almost there.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Hey, good luck to everyone 2021.
That's right.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Marathon time. Marathon at the buffet.
We out.
You heard it. All right, what's your opening?
I can't tell you.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Be that way.
Dude.
Okay. Are we ready?
Dude.
Are you Mario Karting that shit? Nerd.
Stop it.
Stop it, Steven. The skin.
Get it together.
Yeah.